All right, guys, I just found this on Turkey's Twitter. Hear from himself, but check out his mannerisms and how he's talking. Turkey, you gotta stop hanging out with so many Americans, mate.
Canelo in Riyadh in May, the big fight in the history of boxing. In September,
Terence Crawford, I see he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better. No, Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He's a good fighter, but like I say, he's weight classes for a reason.
In boxing history, September could bring a major twist. Terence Crawford has made it clear he wants to fight, but when asked if such bouts add to his legacy, the response was measured. Every fight shapes a career, yet weight classes exist for a reason. While acknowledging Crawford as a great fighter, there's caution about the matchup.
Yeah, somebody asked Turkey Al-Sheikh, is this happening? Look at his response about Crawford facing Canelo. Look at his response. Make the fight, Turkey, make the fight.
The long-rumored Canelo versus Crawford clash had been building for months, with fans and analysts eagerly predicting how the undisputed welterweight king would fare against boxing's biggest star. Terence Crawford, fresh off a dominant victory over Errol Spence Jr., was widely regarded as a pound-for-pound best, while Canelo Alvarez, the undisputed champion at 168, continued to command the sport's brightest stages and grandest venues. The anticipation was electric, and with Turkey Al-Sheikh's track record of delivering blockbuster events in Saudi Arabia, many believe an official announcement was inevitable. Yet, in a surprising twist, Al-Sheikh changed course, casting sudden doubt over whether this dream matchup would actually take place.
and he's starting to rehab now and training again. And we hope to. He's one of our plan to see him fight in 25.
The goal obviously is a Canelo fight for him, right?
We hope he wants this fight, and why not?
You and Canelo, I know you guys are working towards trying to do a fight. What's the status of that?
We will see maybe next month, next 2 months.
This week, Turkey Al-Sheikh informed reporters that he no longer plans to stage a fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, at least not in the near future. Instead, he suggested that both fighters could take part in other high-profile bouts, focusing on maximizing excitement and profit potential for Saudi Arabia's growing boxing scene. The biggest surprise came when Al-Sheikh floated the idea of Crawford fighting on the undercard of Canelo's next major event. "I said to Canelo, we are ready for February. Crawford is ready to accept," Al-Sheikh revealed. The boxing world reacted instantly, as many view Crawford as the most technically gifted fighter in the sport today. The news shifted the tone of the entire discussion, sparking heated debates about status, respect, and legacy. Canelo responded swiftly, expressing full support for the idea. "You know, there are just levels to it. Crawford is a great fighter, and I would be very happy to fight on the same night as him," he said. While polite on the surface, many interpreted, "There are just levels to it," as a subtle jab. Canelo acknowledging Crawford's skills, but making it clear who the main attraction and true headliner would be.
I said to you, Canelo, we are ready to February. Crawford ready, except.
This exchange underscored the unspoken power dynamic between skill and star power. Crawford's resume is flawless, undefeated, untested at 140 and dominant at 147, but Canelo reigns supreme in marketability, global fame, and box office pull. For over a decade, he's headlined sellout pay-per-views, his name alone generating millions. So when Turkey Al-Sheikh speaks of Canelo's card, there's no doubt who the main attraction and the face of the show truly is.
The notion that Terence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes, 21 pounds, to fight Canelo Alvarez. He's entirely too small. Jamel Charlo already proved.
The prospect of Crawford appearing on the same card as Canelo, yet not as the main event, quickly became one of boxing's hottest talking points. This wasn't merely about scheduling. It was about hierarchy. Though both fighters had expressed interest in facing each other, Turkey Al-Sheikh's decision sent a clear message. He sees more value in showcasing Crawford under Canelo's banner than rushing into a direct showdown. Whether driven by financial strategy, promotional vision, or timing, the move reshaped the conversation and highlighted the unspoken layers of status within the sport.
In Riyadh, in May, the big fight in the history of boxing. In September, then 2 more fights in 26. Don't miss with the line.
Crawford has yet to release an official statement on the development, but fans are already divided. Some see it as a slight to one of boxing's finest talents, while others view it as a smart move. If Crawford wants to secure a spot on Saudi Arabia's massive cards, he may need to play the long game, much like Devin Haney did fighting on Ryan Garcia's undercard. The Saudi deal is simply too lucrative for Pride to get in the way, especially with potential Canelo clash still in sight.
Did you start to find some of his comments almost disrespectful when he was talking about eat you alive head-to-head on Mexican Independence Day?
Yeah,
if you're smart, you'll take the
look,
deal.
I respect everybody. I respect everybody, but I don't like that way he talks. But it's his problem, not my problem. And I don't ask for a fight. I don't ask for any fight. So I respect, like I say.
Canelo is already scheduled to headline in Riyadh on May 3rd, 2025, facing undefeated Cuban super middleweight William Skull. While the matchup hasn't generated major buzz, it serves a purpose, keeping Canelo active, meeting a mandatory defense, and preserving momentum ahead of bigger potential fights later in the year. Turki Alshik has yet to confirm whether Crawford will appear on the same card, but the implication is clear. If Crawford wants to fight soon under the Saudi banner, it may well be as a co-main event beneath Canelo's headlining slot.
Canelo, Ryan versus Devin. I think it's a good year for boxing. I think it's a great year for boxing. I'm eager to see this rematch. Hopefully we can get this rematch this year. Hopefully we can get it this year.
The bigger question is what becomes of the long-anticipated Canelo versus Crawford showdown. While Turki Alshik has decided against staging for now, he hasn't shut the door entirely. Sources close to the situation suggest the fight could still happen if both men keep winning and public demand grows, potentially setting the stage for 2026. In the meantime, boxing experts have begun speculating on the outcome, and many lean toward Canelo. Though Crawford is widely regarded as one of the most complete fighters of his era, most believe the size and power advantage Canelo holds at 168 pounds would simply be too much to overcome.
Excited and wants to go out and talk about
September, congratulations, boys! Yeah! Congrats, we're happy for you! That is awesome. Well, go ahead, Dana.
We actually are getting together with him tomorrow. We're going to shoot some content. And when it's time to announce, we have a massive fight. Literally, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. A massive fight that only this guy could.
Crawford has competed as high as 150 pounds, but has never faced an opponent with Canelo's combination of strength, size, and skill. The Mexican superstar has spent years overcoming larger foes like Caleb Plant, Billy Joe Saunders, and Callum Smith, and even moved up to 175 to challenge Dimitri Bivol, holding his own despite a decision loss. Many analysts believe that while Crawford may be technically sharper than most, Canelo's relentless body attack and pressure over 12 rounds could wear him down. Some go further, predicting Crawford wouldn't hear the final bell. The leap from welterweight to super middleweight is massive, especially against a fighter like Canelo, who excels at neutralizing movement and punishing the body with precision and power.
It's not 14-inch gloves, not 2-minute round, not beating a legend in the age of your grandfather. Boxing is not like this. Do not name it boxing, please. Name it show. I am not against it. Name it show.
It hasn't stopped Crawford supporters from backing him. Many believe he's a smarter, quicker, and more adaptable fighter, citing his dominant performance against Errol Spence as proof of his ring IQ. They argue Crawford sees openings others can't and could dismantle Canelo's style, even if he gives up 15 to 20 pounds on fight night. Yet this situation has grown beyond a simple matchup discussion. It's now about hierarchy and perception. The idea of Crawford fighting on Canelo's undercard, even once, would send a powerful message about the sport's global power structure and the balance between skill, star power, and market dominance in boxing.
I just gotta beat him. I'm not going in there looking to knock Canelo out. Could it happen? Yes, absolutely. You know, when I look at Canelo, he's a smaller, bigger guy moving up in division. You know, being that these big guys are slower, so they might catch him with something, but he might see it at the last minute. You know, they might catch him.
Canelo Alvarez is more than just a fighter. He's a brand, a business, and a power player in boxing. He picks his opponents, dictates the calendar, and sets the stage. Now, even a decorated, world-renowned champion like Terence Crawford may need to operate within Canelo's orbit to secure a spot on Turki Alshik's biggest cards. This could be part of a broader strategy. By having Crawford fight beneath Canelo first, his international profile, especially in the Middle East, can grow, all while keeping the door open for a future mega dash fight. In the meantime, the tension between the two stars is fueling interest. While Canelo versus Crawford is no longer on the immediate schedule, the narrative remains strong. The idea of Crawford appearing on Canelo's undercard, after months of fans dreaming about them facing off, marks a pivotal moment. Whether it becomes a stepping stone toward the showdown or a lasting sign of hierarchy will depend on what happens next. The fight itself may still happen down the line. For now, it exists in a space between rumor and reality. But that hasn't stopped fans, analysts, and retired legends from weighing in. And one thing's certain, the reactions have been anything but mild.
And I'm not, you know, I don't know Canelo very well. I'll say hi to him if I see him. He'll say hi to me too, but we're not friends. You know, I could probably say I've spent more time with Crawford, so I would love to see Crawford pull it out. I would be more happy to see Crawford win, you know, because I know him better. I know him. I've seen him develop and top.
Abel Sanchez, one of boxing's most respected and seasoned trainers, has recently added his voice to the Canelo versus Crawford debate, and he didn't hold back. For those unfamiliar, Sanchez isn't just another guy with a whistle and stopwatch. He was the driving force behind Gennady GGG Golovkin's rise to stardom and is renowned for his deep understanding of ring IQ, strategy, and the nuances of weight classes. Speaking to Fight Hub TV, Sanchez dismissed the hype surrounding a potential Crawford-Canelo clash. "Come on, I think it's a ridiculous fight myself," he said bluntly. "Crawford is too small." It wasn't a jab meant to belittle Crawford's skill. It was, in Sanchez's view, a cold and dangerous truth. In boxing, size matters. He praised Crawford's hand speed and ring intelligence, but drew a clear line. Canelo, he believes, is simply too much. Sanchez compared the situation to when Kell Brook moved up in weight to challenge his own fighter, Golovkin. Brook's speed and sharpness troubled GGG for a few rounds, but once Golovkin's power and pressure began to connect, the outcome was inevitable. Sanchez sees the same script playing out with Canelo and Crawford. The hand speed will be there early, he explained, but as the fight goes on, Canelo is going to start pounding on him. In Sanchez's eyes, anything Canelo lands will hurt Crawford, and by the time Crawford adjusts to the timing, the damage will already be done. He even offered prediction. Canelo closes the show somewhere between rounds 9 and 12. It's a blunt, brutal assessment from a man who's seen countless big fights. And while Sanchez respects Crawford's greatness, he believes that against Canelo at 168, the size and power gap would be decisive.
Triple G on Bud's resume. There's no Trout on Bud's resume. There's no Daniel Jacobs on Bud's resume. Canelo is the one that's fought the elite level opposition. It's Canelo that fought Laura. There is no Laura on Bud's resume. There is no Laura on Bud's resume. Bud has never faced a multiple division champ. Bud has never faced a multiple division champ.
Yeah, but Bud is an elite boxer.
So you're an elite boxer, but you haven't fought elite.
While fans still dream of Crawford pulling off the impossible, seasoned boxing veterans are already predicting the ending. Abel Sanchez even pointed to Crawford's most recent outing. his 154-pound win over Israel Madrimov. As proof that weight matters, I don't care how much he bulks up or what he does to get to that level. 168 is going to make a difference. Sanchez insisted Crawford supporters, however, aren't just dismissing the size gap. They're flipping the entire narrative. Attention spiked when new training footage of Canelo surfaced online. The Mexican star looked sharp. Tight hooks, crisp technique, fluid movement. Classic Canelo. Yet some viewers thought he appeared just a touch slower and less explosive than before. That's when the takes started flying. One fan declared, undisputed at 5 weights. Another claimed, I think Crawford is too quick. Canelo looks a little slow. One even speculated that age might be creeping up on him. He's looking slower. Crawford will be thrilled. Naturally, Canelo's faithful fired back. King of 168. Let's go, one wrote. Another added, he still has that power. A third chimed in, his precision alone will be a nightmare for Crawford, especially with the size advantage. And that's where this fight currently lives. In the clash between cold logic and pure belief, between experience and hope, between size and skill. For now, Canelo is locked in to face undefeated Cuban William Skull on May 3rd in Riyadh. Skull may not be a household name, but the fight matters. It keeps Canelo active, satisfies a mandatory defense, and should he win, reaffirms his status as the undisputed super middleweight king. If that happens, a bout with Crawford becomes more than just a blockbuster. It becomes historic. IT would be a 2-time undefeated super middleweight champion, defending against a 4-division world champion aiming to become a 5-division legend. That's legacy stacked on top of legacy. Meanwhile, Crawford isn't idly waiting. He's quietly in the gym, adapting his body to the new weight, refining his tools, and reshaping his frame to handle the challenge of a man who has traded punches with the very best in boxing.
I do wonder how effective Crawford can be to keep moving up in weight. You know, like you're starting to see that, you know, now he's not quite as strong. The knockout streak is over. But he can box really, really, really well. But Madrimov pressed him the whole fight. So obviously the power wasn't getting the respect that he might have gotten when he was a little at the smaller weight classes. And remember, Canelo is a guy who presses a lot. So it's one thing Canelo does. Canelo's not very active. He gets in your...
That's not hype, it's obsession. Crawford isn't the type of fighter who just prepares. He transforms. He's studying Canelo's every pattern, every habit, every tell. Whether that's enough to close the power gap is the million-dollar question. Some think they already know the answer, and they're betting real money on it. Former heavyweight champion Shannon Briggs recently lit up the debate with a bold prediction. I've got Crawford by stoppage, a brutal stoppage, he said on SNS. I've got /$1 000 on it now. That's not just talk, that's conviction. And when a man who shared the ring with Lennox Lewis and George Foreman tells you Crawford will stop Canelo, people pay attention. Briggs doubled down, saying, if I'm easy work, why doesn't he just take the fight? But instead, he wants $200 million for Benavidez and $150 million to fight me. That tells me I'm a threat to him and to his reputation. The reaction was immediate. Many scoffed. Crawford stopping Canelo? You're dreaming. Others wondered if Briggs had spotted something the rest of the boxing world hadn't. Could it be Crawford's impeccable timing, Canelo slowing just enough, or simply the element of surprise? Still, most of the boxing establishment sees Crawford entering dangerous waters. This wouldn't be like Kell Brook moving up, landing a few clean shots, then being overwhelmed. This is Crawford, who genuinely believes he's the best ever. Stepping into Canelo's territory, a weight class the Mexican master doesn't just visit, but owns. And history shows Canelo is a fighter who gets stronger as the rounds tick by. Just ask Daniel Jacobs, Billy Joe Saunders, or Sergey Kovalev. They all had their moments, flashes of success, but in the end, the size, power, and pressure broke them down. The difference here? None of those opponents had Crawford's mind. That's where Bud fans place their faith, in his ability to outthink the danger, to win a chess match before it turns into a slugfest. If Canelo gets past William Skull in May, the September clash with Crawford wouldn't just be a meeting of styles. It would be a collision of timing, stamina, and ego. And in boxing, those three can decide everything.
I'm going with Terence Crawford. You know, big weight jump.
a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. You know, it ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I'm not betting against Terence Crawford against nobody right now. You got to show me that you
work. I heard him say, I'm an easy work. If I was an easy work, you would take all that money that he's offering you. But yet and still, he want $200 million for Benavidez, and he want $150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to his leg.
On one side stand a proven champion, battle-tested, polished, and the biggest brand in boxing. On the other, a cerebral assassin who's built his legacy in silence, with no flashy marketing or social media stunts, just pure, calculated violence. So, what's your take on this potential showdown? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more boxing content.